What's good, y'all? It's Casper. In today's video, we're getting into the 7th episode of Sylvester Stallone's Tulsa King, so let's get straight to it. Episode 7 is called Warr Acres, directed by Ferland. Directed a couple episodes for The Walking Dead, so I never mentioned that. And shout out Frothizzle Reviews, aka my brother, for that insight, aka the trivia as well. This episode is written by Taylor Sheridan and Terence. So episode 7 of Tulsa King, definitely the definition of time is moving really fast. So in this episode, a lot of actions and events take place that make it seem like time is moving quick. The beginning, see Chicky and his dad Pete talking to the doctor, and we're seeing more of how the health is with the main mafia boss, Don, Pete. And Chicky, from the looks of it, has a little side of just hearing this information. He doesn't look too happy. You would think that, you know, you're getting good news from the doctor about your dad's health, but Chicky doesn't present that happiness at all. So the acting for him is very good right there. See Tina end up calling Dwight, and Dwight is not taking any accidental or any coincidences as an excuse for what happened to Tina's husband. Tina's husband ends up getting beat up in the last episode, and now he's in the hospital, and the conversation between them gets very interesting. We also see Tyson and Armand go to the station and pick up Goody, and that interaction was dope. I like that scene and camera direction because it showed where they were at. It didn't have a simple bland editing or cut scenes at all. The lines were cool because it was funny. Now we know that Armand's wife works at Walmart, and the interaction with Tyson being there was cool. And they pick up Goody, and Goody's facial expression on seeing Armand, you could tell like, oh, he did not expect that, and when he saw them, he was on high alert. Goody wants to know why Armand is there, and Armand has to basically tell Goody like, hey, I live here now and I'm working with Dwight now. So good interaction right there. Forgot to mention that the scene started off with Dwight and Mitch finishing up burying the body, so we saw that as well. And we're seeing the biker gang boss trying to call his person that he sent out, which is Roxy's boyfriend. That was crazy as well because it all ties in to the beginning scene where Dwight says take the jacket of the guy they just killed, and the interaction and seeing that type of excitement was crazy dope because you wanted to see how everyone's reaction is gonna be, because the boss is calling, no one's answering, to find out that Roxy ended up getting the package and bringing it to the boss. I thought that was crazy. You could see the boss was so pissed, but I was like, damn, this is getting very intense. And Roxy ends up calling Stacy, and Stacy can't believe it, and Stacy, on some craziness, is still wanting Roxy to go undercover. Roxy's under crazy emotion, crazy stress, and she's at her lowest. You see all that, very good. And that's why I'm saying the choosing points and just being involved with everyone's life around this whole world, very dope to see that. So very intense, we see that. And Roxy tries to come up on more information because Stacy still wants her to be a low-key two-face, triple face. So that's very insane. The build up to where the boss ends up catching Roxy added dopeness to this episode and to this ride of Tulsa King. So that was cool that we saw the boss get more involved. Very crazy scene right there too. So the great acting continues with Stallone, and we're involved with Goody coming to Mitch's bar, and Mitch ends up meeting Goody. And that interaction was very cool. Like I said, the setting and bringing new flow into an environment that's already been shown, very cool. You can see the growth that's gonna be there, because the lines in this episode and in this scene, we end up seeing that Goody wants to already do business with Dwight, and I like that interaction. I like those lines, and then Dwight still holding his own in here, and that was pretty funny that we saw that. And cool interaction. We didn't see no suspiciousness. Intense scene as well, because when Dwight sees Goody come into the bar, Goody is not playing and Dwight's not playing. But we're also seeing Dwight trying to make Tina move to Oklahoma. Throughout this episode, we see that Tina introduces that thought and that idea to her husband in the hospital. So we see a possibility of Tina trying to go to Oklahoma. This episode, more interaction with the owner of the ranch. Talk with Dwight more in this episode. So we see more of them getting involved, and it doesn't feel like a filler between them. Kind of seems like you want to see how they're gonna grow with each other, because they're obviously flirting with each other. And they go to dinner in this episode, Very funny to see their dinner. I like how this episode brought more of the side characters involved. When Dwight goes and visits Bodhi at the shop, Dwight acknowledges how Grace looks, you know. So Grace is like shaping up her whole look. She's looking more, I guess, awake and alive. And then you see a funny interaction when Tyson sees the other homie working at the shop cut off his dreads. So cool little moment right there, which was also funny. Like how this is flowing quick, it doesn't stay stuck on one day. There's another opportunity that is growing and Dwight wants to keep on capitalizing, and you're definitely seeing Dwight taking things into his own hands in this episode. We see the side of Bodhi that I didn't think he had at all. Besides him owning that shop, this dude is out here scamming people who invest in Bitcoin, NFTs. So this episode brings like out of nowhere moments, and that was one of them for me right there. Bathroom scene with Chicky and his pops, that was outrageous. That made you absolutely know that Chicky is just up to no good. Made you intensely look at what's happening. But the vibe of it being presented there, you can kind of sense like that was gonna happen. But how they did it, absolutely well done. And whew, crazy to see that. Chicky is now hiding that fact. Goody now tells Dwight about it, and there's a funeral coming up, but Dwight mentions it to Goody. He's not going. And Dwight, to end the episode, good job on how they ended it with just the look of, wow, are you serious? And knowing this might be a suspicious thing. And Dwight is everywhere in his head, and how they ended the episode, well done. No words, just straight look and thought. So now Chicky is boss leader. Crazy. Episode 7, man, very unexpected. That was a very good episode. So after my watching episode 7 of Tulsa King out of 10, I'm gonna have to give it a 10 out of 10. So that's my review for the 7th episode of Tulsa King. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.